So as you lot know, I'm a car dealer, and behind me here is my car dealership. We've got about 150 cars now, but obviously that all started from one single car. That one single car was about 15 years ago, and it was a Volkswagen Golf VR6. That car there was actually my brother Leon's car. At the time, he had the Golf VR6. I had a Ford Transit. We had to keep the Transit because that earned us money, whereas the Golf VR6, I mean, it got him about, we could get about in the Transit. So we sold the VR6 for £600, and that began our journey as car dealers. But rewind 5 years before that, our first ever car that we ever bought and sold was actually a Vauxhall Astra GTE. That car there we bought for 350 quid from Luton Town, which is where we grew up. We bought that car and we sold it straight away, made a profit. I can't actually remember the exact numbers, but in the region of about 500 quid profit. Now obviously because of this, Astra GTEs have got so much significance to us on our journey as car dealers. Specifically to Leon, because he used to absolutely love these cars. And I've always thought, wouldn't it be so cool if I could get my hands on one as a surprise and give it to him as a gift? So I was at a car show in the summer with my little boy Kai, right? And as we was wandering around, I saw an Astra GTE, an absolutely stunning example, and I walked up to it and I started telling Kai the story about how significant these cars are on my journey as a car dealer. And then the owner come over and he recognised me from my channel, and I was like, I got chatting to him, and it turned out we had a mutual friend in common as well. And I said to him, mate, if you ever want to sell this car, please let me know. He's like, I don't really want to sell it, but I'll take your number, and when the day comes, I'll give you a shout. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I got a message from him saying, Calvin, are you still interested in buying the GTE? And of course, my answer was yes. So Leon's currently at work and he's obviously got no idea any of this is happening, right? And the guy with the Astra GTE lives about 5 miles from where Leon works. Leon's workplace is the car buying shop based at Poplar's Garden Centre, and I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to see the car again, and I can't wait to see Leon's reaction when he sees a nice mint Astra GTE. What, me? Last time I drove an Astra GTE, honestly, I reckon it was like probably back in the day when me and Leon used to buy and sell them. I don't think we've had one ever since then. It must be at least 15 years ago. And that's also what makes this video exciting for me, is because old cars, we've all got that old car. We've all got that one car that we have a memory of from when we was younger. And for me, these cars are just, the nostalgia is going to be mental for me and for Leon. So yeah, it's going to be exciting, man.
What would be like another car that would really surprise you, if you could?
Another car that would really, like, the dream would be, like, I say it all the time, our dream hypercars are Ferrari F40, Ferrari F50, Jaguar XJ220 or a McLaren F1, and that day will come. I think the Jaguar XJ220 is probably or possibly the most iconic of the lot, but one day that would happen. Today it's all about the GTE. I know it ain't quite as valuable, but it's still a cool car. There it is on the driveway, looking clean. Oh wow, that looks so cool, man. What a lovely car. He's definitely cleaned it up as well, it's looking fresh. Let's go have a proper look over it. Sorted, so we've arrived. Look at it, it's looking absolutely mint. John, the owner, stood just off camera. He doesn't want to be on camera, I respect that, that's all good. But I am going to throw some questions at John as we wander around the car. So you've obviously cleaned it, John, ain't you? Given it a good scrub, yeah? It's looking fresh, man. Since I saw you in the summer, I'm guessing you barely use it, do you?
No, summertime only really, mate.
Really? So you've got your work van that you run around in, and then you bought this. How long ago did you buy this?
Maybe 9 or 10 years.
Was it in this condition when you bought it?
No, it needed full restoration.
Really?
So I run it for a year, and then pulled it off the road and started restoring it.
So you've done it, because a bit of background, so me and John were just talking off camera. John's also from Luton. He actually grew up with one of my cousins, so small worlds. And so we know a lot of people, we've got a lot of friends in common, haven't we? And Luton is obviously the home of Vauxhall. So everyone back in the day had Vauxhalls, and that's why the GTE was a big car back in the day, wasn't it? And we're actually the same age as well, weren't we? Which is cool. And did you say you had a family member that worked for Vauxhall?
Yeah, Dad was in the Vauxhall scheme, Frontierers, and all the lot. Yeah.
But even that was such a common scenario. So many family members, dads, uncles, everyone was on the Vauxhall scheme. So it was either a Nova, like you say, your dad had a Frontera, Astras, Not many people had the Astra GTE. The cool guys had the Astra GTEs, didn't they? I had a Calibra actually as my first car, as some people might know. So you fully restored the car. And when I saw you in the summer, so how long ago did you finish doing all the work on the car? I suppose it was many years ago.
Yeah, two and a bit years ago now.
Wicked. The paint's been done. Even if you look through the arches, you can see the body, the chassis of the car is mint, isn't it?
Yeah, underneath's been done as well. So.
Really? So the whole underneath of the car's been done. The wheels have been done. It's got new tyres on it. Interior's clean as well. Still got the original leather interior. Something we ain't spoke about even is the fact that it's a Champion. So they've still got the same engine, it's about 150 horsepower in it. But the Champions came in this sort of burgundy colour, didn't they? And the leather seats with the mesh headrest. That was basic. Oh, the wheels are different. So still got the original wheels as well, but they were unique to the Champion. And it's a nice thing. So when I spoke to John in the summer, obviously that was at the show up the road, wasn't it? And I was just amazed with how clean this car looked. And then I come to see you a few weeks ago. We had it in the garage. I brought Kai round, didn't I, on a Sunday afternoon, just to have another little look over it. I've not driven it yet, but I'm looking forward to driving it. And it is stunning. Still got the Luton sticker on the back window there as well. Was it originally supplied in Luton, do you know?
No, I think they only sold them in the surrounding areas of London, like Surrey and stuff like that.
Right.
But obviously being local, I just thought I'd get there.
Yeah, it looks good. It's even got the plates as well and the little coloured Champion badge on the back. But even finding bits like that, I noticed that you've got the door stickers as well down the side. So they would have been, you would have had to replace them. The black trim across the back as well. Leon's going to absolutely love this car. Even the exhaust. You've obviously replaced the exhaust because you've done the whole underneath of the car. I'm going to do a traditional car vertical check because that is a standard thing on the channel. We've got to do that. And visually you can see the car's a stunning car anyway, but just for the benefit of the video, let's do it anyway. So as ever, big thank you to Car Vertical for sponsoring this video. I will link them in the description below. Use my code CCD to get 20% off, right? So funny enough, I don't know why this is. So it's come up 1990. It's got the correct chassis number there. And you can check this, by the way, when you're buying a car. Check the chassis number on the Car Vertical check. Matches the chassis number on the V5, which also matches the chassis number on the actual car. And you'll see here that in this case, of course, it's all good, but that's really important that you do that. But this car, for some reason, must be a mix of data because it's such an old car. It's come up as an Opel Frontera. We've just spoke about Fronteras on camera. So it's obviously not a Frontera, but the most important thing is that you check that that chassis numbers are right. So yeah, 1990, so we would have been 3 years old at that time. 87 boys. Mileage is all good. What's the mileage on now? About 150, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
150,000 miles. It's got no finance on it. Obviously, I don't even think it's possible to finance a car of this age. And it's had no previous damage either. Not been stolen as well. That's probably quite a big factor with these because they would have all been getting nicked back in the day. These and the Cosworths and whatever else was popular then. And then if we scroll down, you can see prior to 2008, there is no mileage record because there wouldn't have been any digital online system like the MOT or whatever. So from there onwards it's done 143. It's barely been used since 2008. It's just sort of sat around and not done much at all. And we know through the time that you've owned it, you ain't done no miles in it either. So yeah, that is all good. Anything else to report? It's probably a bit of a timeline. It's probably got quite a big timeline. SVR, sounds good. Loads, there's absolutely loads to go through, but we're not going to go through all of this. There's also a big file of history in the car as well, isn't there? And you've got some stuff on your phone that you can send over.
Oh yeah, picture of the restoration and when I bought it. And
Wicked. Thanks again to Car Vertical. I'll link them in the description below. I think what I want to do now is I've got to send you some money and we'll get that done and then we can go for a drive and go see Leon. He's going to be shocked. He's going to be absolutely shocked. I know full well when I pull into the car park at the garden centre, he'll spot it because he spots everything pulling into any nice car that comes in. He gets photos, sends them over to our little group chat all the time. So I know full well he will spot this car pulling up. And that's providing he's going to be at work because he might not be. But he'll spot it and he'll come straight out. So I don't know. Let's hope it goes that way. Let's go find out. This feels so strange, man. It feels so strange, like being in this car. I'm glad I've not driven one for so long. The Digi Dash is such a big feature on these cars. That red top engine is a hero from what I was putting out in the Porsche. You ready to roll, yeah? Let's do this. This is wicked. 5-speed manual gearbox. Even this steering wheel, the flat steering wheel, I love that. This is jokes. That is it. My first time driving one of these for God knows how many years. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous. Oh, Leon's gonna be shocked. He's not only gonna be shocked, but he's gonna absolutely love this car. Like, for anyone that knows me and Leon from when we was younger, you will know how significant these cars were. Look how slow the window's going up. Oh. Let's go. It's literally just a few minutes up the road, luckily. So the tension is really setting in now. Big day for John as well. Like, I actually felt a bit bad for him because he's been on this whole journey with this car, fully restored it, and today's the day that it goes. He literally came out of his kids and sort of said bye to me and the car, and that's it now. We're off. Oh wow, the gear, it just feels so good. So let's talk about the plan for when we get there. So obviously we have made a bit of a plan, because you can just turn up. We are just going to turn up, but we've got to hope that Leon's going to be there, and we kind of need Amar to get in with the Porsche first, park at the bottom of the car park, get the camera out so he can film me rolling in, and I reckon there's a good chance that Leon's going to walk out either maybe when he sees the Porsche, hopefully not, but hopefully when he sees the Astra GTE pull up, because I know he's a car buyer. As soon as he sees an Astra GTE pull in the car park, he's going to want to know, one, who owns it, and two, if the owner wants to sell it or not. So yeah, then he's going to be shocked when he sees the man behind the wheel is his little brother Calvin. It's literally just in this turning in this car park on the left here. Going to pull in now, slowly pull in. Father Christmas there on the sign. Is he there? And Mar's ready with the camera. Right, I'm going to go slow. This is perfect. This is perfect. Looks like he's open. His car's there, so he's here. Will he see the car pulling up? Imagine he comes out. Imagine he sees the car pulling up and he comes out. I'm going to pull up here. Ah. Steve. It's my cousin over there. Can you believe it? What a coincidence. This is awkward. This is what I made. Steve? Steve? I'm just filming a video, so I'm not going to come and speak to you. I'm not being rude. I'm filming the video with Leon, but I just want to say hello now. And for the pair of yous. Yeah, but it's cool, isn't it? He's there. He's in the office. He's coming out. Because I didn't even just stalled it.
What's that doing here?
Bought you a car, innit?
You are joking. You're winding me up. You are joking. Really?
Yeah, bought you a car, man.
Oh, cows, man. I've got to take it out.
Oh, wicked, man.
You know what? I'm so shocked. I'm sitting here in the garden centre and a GTE's ball. Is it a champion?
It's a champion.
It's actually a champion. Yeah. You are joking.
It's mic on you. I'm shaking, man.
Oh my God, Cal. Can't believe it.
Oh, it's a proper car as well. It's a proper nice
Do you know
car.
what? I recognise the number plate.
Do you know, when I first saw this car, I recognised the number plate. Do you know who owned it then?
Has he had it for about 4 or 5 years?
He's had it for, I think he said on camera, about 10 years, isn't he? Is that camera definitely recording him? This is a big moment. He's had it about 10 years, yeah, 9-10 years I think. His name's John. He's from Luton. He knows us, yeah.
Really? I definitely know that car. Oh, let's take it for a drive. Let's go for a drive.
Let me take you around the car first, Leon.
Oh my God.
I'm so glad that bit's over. So my cousin Steve, it's funny, Steve was there, I see him in the background, I was like, Steve, I'm not being rude, but I'm filming quite a big video. So,
yeah, you told him.
Yeah,
I did wonder that because they popped in Saleh.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Turn the wipers off.
So it's John's fully restored the car.
Really?
The whole car's been fully restored. Paint.
You can tell the arches are perfect.
The arches, the whole underneath of the car, the wheels. He's put it back to original. So when he bought it, the locks were smoothed.
Yeah.
The side repeaters were apparently smooth as well. So he's bought a new set of locks. He said everything on the car, new set of locks, new side repeaters, obviously his full paint. He said the only thing that he hasn't replaced on the outside of this car and the mechanical side is the ABS pump. Everything else is brand new.
You're joking.
All from Vauxhall as well.
Let me have a look under the bonnet.
Have a look under the bonnet.
This is so cool. This is so cool. Man. Cal, I can't believe you got me a GTE.
But oh, by the way, this video is going up on Christmas Day, so Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, Leon.
Oh my God, look at it.
It's mint, isn't it? It's lovely. It's such a nice thing. Like, it's replaced. Even like, I'll introduce you to John one day. He lives local.
Do you know what? I know exactly who you bought it off, John.
Yeah. So
He's had this for years.
he's had it for years.
You're joking, it was his car.
So you know the car.
Oh my, that's how I'm looking at the number plate. I'm thinking, I know this car. I know exactly who you
What are
mean,
the
John.
So the story is, I have never seen this car before. Me and Kai was at the car show in Flitwick in the summer. There's a car show on. So me and Kai and Magdalena went down there, and I was walking around and I saw this car on show. And I walked up to the car, started telling Kai about these cars from when me and you were younger. I was like, me and Leon used to love these, and Leon had one. We bought one to buy and sell and whatever. And as I was chatting to Kai about it, the guy come over to me and he's like, "Oh, you right, Calvin?" And he knew me, and I was like, "This guy knows." I thought he must know the channel, and he obviously knows the channel. But that wasn't the only reason why he knows me. He said, "Oh, yeah, I know, you know Stuart, the body shop in Luton."
Oh yeah, Jackson, yeah.
So he's related to Stuart. I was like, this is such a small world. And it turns out that he's from Farley Hill. He knows Adrian, he knows Samantha.
No way.
Yeah, he's the same age as me. So he literally knows our family from that side of town. And I was like, this is so cool. And his dad worked for Vauxhall, so he's a big Vauxhall fan. And yeah, he's rebuilt the car himself. He's done all the work himself. These have come from Vauxhall. The headlights are brand new from Vauxhall. He said he remembers peeling the film off of the headlights.
So, what, did he want to sell it then? Why was he at the car show? He obviously loves it.
Back to the car show. So I said to him, "John, do you want to sell your car?" And he was like, "Nah, I don't want to sell my car." I said, "I want to buy my brother an Astra GT. So if you ever sell this car, I want to buy it." Because after I spoke to him and see the car, but this is definitely a proper car. Proper car. And he's like, "Well, look, I'll take your number, and if and when the day comes, I'll let you know." And yeah, the day finally came around Christmas as well, which is perfect.
I can't believe it. I actually can't believe it. You know, like I send them over
all the time.
I send them over to you. So there's not champions because they rarely come up.
Yeah.
And we always think about it. We just never do it.
We never really buy ourselves anything, do we?
No, we actually don't. We actually don't.
You've said so many times over the years you'd love to get an Astra GSI maybe, or an Astra GT, just one of them old Vauxhalls, just for that. I don't even know if we'll ever use it. I don't know, but it's cool to have, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, do you know what's weird with it? As I know exactly how it drives.
You've still got that in your mind.
Still, I know, like, it's like getting into it at 13 years old and driving at 17 when I passed my test.
Yeah.
Let me drive it, take it out.
Let's go for a little drive. Do you know what's funny is how small they are, isn't it?
I know, it's actually a small car, isn't it?
Like me and you, it feels cramped up in there. It feels strange being in the passenger seat of this car with you driving. It's proper like, back in the day, man, we actually used to have so much fun in these cars.
I know. What made him want to sell it then after all this time?
You know, he didn't really have a reason. And I just said to him today, "Are you buying something else?" He's like, "Not really. I don't really know what I'm going to do." He's got some work going on in his house, so he's considering just getting that done. But I don't know, I think the time always comes, doesn't it? And I think sometimes when you put the idea in someone's head, I don't know, it wasn't even that, because when I spoke to him in the summer, he did say, "I have actually thought about selling it." So maybe it's just the right time for him.
Yeah, so it's just prompted him.
You know, the arch is rubbing since I was going to say, it weren't doing that when...
Oh really?
It was
obviously the weight and it'll bust it.
That is funny.
Old cars, you do notice these bits and pieces on them, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Old cars are just different, aren't they?
That's funny.
It must be lowered.
Sounds like the window's open though, doesn't it? It's not the door or nothing, is it?
Nah, Nah, I just think it's just an old car, isn't it?
I wonder how many times it's been stolen in its past. Must have been stolen.
According to car vertical, it's never been stolen.
Oh really? Surely people just been waking up every day with their car off the drive. Oh, got it back today, bonus.
Yeah.
They must have just got so used to them being nicked.
So, do you actually remember the one we bought from Farley Hill back in the day? Do you actually remember that car?
Was it a Champion?
It weren't a Champion, nah. It was a champagne colour.
Champagne colour, yeah, that's a rare colour in these, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do remember. I remember the car, but I don't remember going to Farley Hill.
I don't remember the actual house, but I remember going there. I don't know how I remember that. I remember going, I think it would have been advertised in the paper or something. Got a feeling we paid like £350 for it or something. It was
Really?
Yeah, it was like, it wasn't a lot of money at all.
I remember buying that Astra GTE that we had at the showroom.
Yeah.
Didn't we? That was the same as this, wasn't it?
Hold on, what one was that? I don't even remember that.
Do you not remember the showroom in
Yeah.
Markyate?
Yeah.
We bought a Champion GTE. I bought it from a guy that worked at Vauxhall. I put a note on the windscreen.
Oh.
I said, if you ever want to sell the car, let me know.
Yeah, I do remember.
And then he phoned me one day and
I
says,
forgot all about
yeah,
that.
I'm up for selling the car. I think his girlfriend lived in Todderton at the time, and I put the same note on the same car on a different driveway, but I didn't know it was his car. And then I see it again on another driveway in Dunstable. I thought, I can't believe this.
That's the same
Another
car.
Champion GT, but I didn't know it was the same car.
Ah.
It wasn't until I spoke to him, and I think he'd split up with his girlfriend or something like that. That's why it ended up back at his house in Dunstable. And he called me and says, yeah, pop round, have a look. But he was a Vauxhall employee, I think, because it steams up, doesn't it?
It does steam up, yeah. I can't remember where the window button is. Do you know what? I actually completely forgot about that car.
Really?
Yeah.
And we sold it to a guy, I think it was from up north or something. He was an older guy. I say older, he's probably my age now, but he was probably in his 40s, and he come down from up north and bought it. I think we sold that for £6,000. I think.
That's mad. So that would have been 15 years ago, wouldn't it?
Yeah. One thing I say about 90s cars is they don't drive like proper old cars, do they?
No, it's quite I'm not going to say it's a nice thing to drive, but it drives well, doesn't it?
It drives well.
Power steering. It's got, even the Digi Dash, that was a massive feature, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a big feature.
Also a massive fan of the Quattros, weren't you?
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. Like, compared to a Quattro, it does drive more modern. But if you think these are roughly on average 10 years newer,
Yeah. I
80s
suppose.
cars do drive old.
They do.
80s and pre-80s, 70s, 60s.
Yeah.
They drive old, whereas this don't drive like.
Yeah.
Don't know, it's hard. It's hard to focus on the camera being on. Being conscious of that noise, I don't know how much they can hear that through the camera.
I reckon that probably sound worse on camera.
Really?
Yeah, because
it's even bothering me.
it's annoying, especially now we're going uphill.
Yeah.
It's more, the weight's more in the back of the car, isn't it?
Yeah, you can feel it it's at an angle. It's funny. I've seen so many of these on and off and up for sale and sold and not sold. And
I think there was one on eBay recently. It was about the time when we bought that, well, when I bought that Focus ST off that guy, the orange one. I think that was Christmas last year, actually.
Yeah.
And he said to me about this Astra GT, and I said, you know what, we've been looking at that Astra GT. It's a white one.
Yeah,
on eBay.
Yeah. I think that had high mileage as well.
Yeah, I think it had done, yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, that sort of came away. You don't see a lot of them up for sale, do you?
Nah, you don't. Do you know what? One thing I'd say about these sort of cars that I've noticed is people that do sell them tend to sell them on forums or like Facebook pages, so they do target people that just want to buy one.
Yeah.
Whereas
yeah.
I think things like eBay and stuff, I do think they get a bit washed out.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So-
eBay's not the ideal place for them, is it?
Nah, I've seen quite a few for sale on like Vauxhall pages and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I remember back in the day as well, you had a white one, didn't you?
I had a white one. Yeah.
I actually remember you, I don't know if you remember this, changing I think it had an oil leak from the rocker cover. And I think you changed it, did you change it yourself?
Yeah, do you know what?
I
Me
think
and Dad done it. I think I'd done a clutch cable as well.
Really?
Yeah, I've done a clutch cable.
That's about as far as mechanical work.
Yeah. No, definitely. No, I done a clutch cable on my 1.4 GL, not an Astra GTE.
Oh,
There's
right.
a normal Mark II Astra.
Yeah, because you had that Mark II Astra as well.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was white as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was white.
I actually remember the plate on that. I think it was H81 ABA. I wonder if that car's still about.
I actually can't remember the plate on it. Nah, that's definitely, that's had it. That's dead.
Yeah, that car's well and truly gone.
That's in the bin.
It's funny, some cars are just like meaningful to some people, wouldn't they? We always talk about Dad's old Rover as well. That's a car that we'd love to buy.
Yeah, that would be a cool car to buy. Evo 6, I think they're a nice car.
Yeah.
I'd like an Evo 6. Try and demist
I
these
know,
windows.
it just gets so steamed up, doesn't it? I'll undo my window a little bit, that might help.
I wonder how many people watching this have got an Astra GTE. There must be few people out there with one of these, isn't it?
Yeah, I wonder. I think the thumbnail will probably attract a few GTE owners.
Yeah.
They're a legend of a car though. You think like the Mark 1s were cool. I suppose that they were a little bit before our time. But I just feel like, maybe because the Mark 2 was the car of our era, but I just feel, I don't know, the Mark 2 was just a cool car. But then the Mark 3, they put the same engine in, so it's like everyone looked forward to the Mark 3 coming out, but it had the same engine, so it weren't.
Do you know what? I was thinking this today, yeah? Technology in general gets better. And we was offered an Audi S4 today. And I think it was a 54 plate. And that 54 plate, that's got a 4.2 V8 petrol. And I just thought, got to get these gears right.
Yeah.
If you're buying an S4, you want one with a turbo.
Yeah.
And the engine before the 54 plate, or that generation of cars,
yeah.
it was a 2.7 bi-turbo, wasn't it? Like I had, yeah?
Yeah, you had one, yeah.
So you had the 2.7 bi-turbo, highly tunable, get crazy power out of them. Then they brought the 4.2 V8 petrol out.
Yeah.
In principle, you'd think it'd be a better car,
Yeah.
but it's not. The 2.7 twin turbo was so much better.
So much better, wasn't it?
And then after that, they brought out, was it a 3-litre turbo? The S4 after that one?
Did, yeah.
And I just thought the 4.2 V8, I don't know, I'm not saying that they're not rubbish, they're still a good car.
No, but they just didn't perform the same.
They didn't perform the same, and technology didn't get better. And
Yeah.
I don't know what they were thinking. The 2.7 turbo was such a better car.
I think it just seemed like a natural progression from manufacturers to go from 6-cylinder to 8-cylinder. BMW done it as well with the M3, didn't it? Didn't
Oh
they?
yeah, I suppose, yeah.
And I don't know, that's maybe the way things were going then, but yeah, they just didn't deliver power in the same way, did they?
Didn't deliver power the same, didn't drive the same.
But then nowadays, a naturally aspirated engine is kind of preference as cars, you know, these big petrol engines fade out. You know, people love a big V8 or a big naturally aspirated engine nowadays.
Yeah.
They just don't make them no more. It's funny how times change, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Now it's going back to smaller engines with, you know, turbo power, whatever.
Yeah, but you're right though, them S4s, them bi-turbo S4s, they drove so well. That is a great choice of car, isn't it?
Well, they drove well, and you're just saying about putting this engine in a new GSIs. It's funny that sometimes they don't advance things, do they? And in some cases, at least with this, it was the same, and it was just a better body shape, so it was an improvement with the GSI. It was a more modern car.
Yeah, it's a nice car. The GSIs are nice.
But with, I don't know, Audi S4 in that scenario, they've made a whole new engine, and it's not as good.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know, it's funny when strange when it happens. I
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah. And then nowadays, the new VXR, I mean, I'm sure they drive amazing. Well, I know they drive amazing. We've bought and sold them. Obviously, it's a VXR now.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be special to some youngsters growing up today, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, them Astra VXRs, they're becoming a bit of a classic now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like a 55 plate. Well, you had that blue one,
We
didn't
gave
you?
one away on Planet Dreams recently.
Yeah, you look at that car.
Yeah. Wicked, man. So, yeah.
Well, I think, like, thanks for buying me the car, Gal. Thanks for the Christmas present.
Happy Christmas.
But there is a general rule with us, isn't there? So anyone watching this, I don't know where the camera is, but
this one here.
anyone watching this, if you want to put, no, I'm only joking. I can't do that.
Everything's for sale, isn't it? Well, let's park it up there. Get out of the way.
Money talks. Think tomorrow.
Get a for sale sign.
That was
it made a good video regardless.
yeah, definitely made a good video. It was a good drive, and yeah, nostalgia. It doesn't feel like long ago since I drove one, but obviously it was.
Yeah.
Everything, you know, just know where everything is, all your buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice, isn't it? It's wicked.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, yeah, I think that's everything. So, for the Porsche, by the way, we're giving that away on Planet of Dreams next week. So if you want to be in for a chance of winning the purple Porsche 911 GT3 RS recreation, if you didn't see that video, you need to go and check it out. It is an amazing car. It's an amazing video, and one of you lucky people is going to be winning that next Sunday. I think it's when the first week of January. It's 29p an entry. Obviously, if you're a dream catcher, you're already entered. Yeah. That is everything. I'll link our vertical in the description below. I'll put Leon's Instagram in the description below as well, because we don't get Leon on the channel ever. He's here at Poplars, over here, or out on the road buying all the time. He's literally buying cars all the time.
Buying cars. I do post on Instagram sometimes. So yeah, give me a follow and keep an eye on what I'm up to as well.
Keep on it with Leon.
Keep on it. And see the journey of the Astra GTE, see what I end up doing with it.
See how much he sells it for. Guys, thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.